Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video on my YouTube channel. I'm Nicholas and today we are going to be checking out the debut solo album slash first mini album of EXO's Xiumin, brand new. And this past Monday we had already checked out the self-titled title track and music video brand new alongside two other EXO solos by Suho and Late. You can gladly check that out if you haven't yet. And now 2 days later we're going to be diving into the full mini album with 4 B-sides overall, including an NCT Mark feature as well. Very exciting stuff. Now I would have actually done this earlier already, but on Monday I had to wait for the lyric videos, and then yesterday I actually had my birthday, which I sadly spent most of the time at work. Yeah, actually a long late shift, so I didn't really have the time to record something, but doesn't matter too much as we can now take the time here for today. I also did do my homework. Okay, it's Xiumin. Okay, I was wondering on Monday again, how do I pronounce his name correctly? So we pronounce the X as an S in this case, basically, Xiumin. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all that really needs to be said beforehand. Like mentioned, 4 B-sides to check out overall. The first one is called Feedback. And the only thing I can say, I guess, is that I also said already in the reaction to the title track that I probably will enjoy the B-sides a bit more, because the title track went for a rather somewhat experimental and just generally different style approach, which I didn't necessarily dislike, but just was my favorite thing. Okay, I really enjoyed his voice and the way it was used, but like the instrumental and that edited voice it was implemented in there, it was entirely, my favorite taste, basically, right? But I was like, you know what, I really enjoy his voice. I think the B-sides will have a bit more for me in store, so let's stop the talking and let's start reacting. First, the 4 B-sides on Xiumin's first mini album, brand new, Feedback. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Oh. Ooh, that's actually... Ooh. Keep the dance, the dance genre. Ooh, interesting though. The tempo feels so medium, it's such a simple beat actually right now. Ooh, ding in the background ad-libs here though. Ooh, that was a nice... Ooh, the synth here though. Oh yeah, that pre-chorus entry was great. Just me, this is a bit... Why though, but... Ooh, I think that background part here is... Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. I really didn't expect such grittiness from him in both songs thus far. I actually would have expected to be much more softer, But this really has a good, amount of attitude to it. Ooh, but now the double vocal layer here. We generally play around a lot with vocal layering for him, like editing it a bit of autotune in there, having 2 vocal lines at once and stuff like that. And now the instrumental is so full, we had such a simple instrumental picture for the verses that will really go all out here. Now a bit of vocalizing. La, 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 la. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's catchy. That's fun. That's really fun. Going it down a bit again. Ooh, the background humming, nice. Okay. Nice bridge, but like the final transition was actually very simple, no big pop moment, but Ooh, but I still like this a lot, especially delivery-wise. Yeah, and then this section here. La 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 la. La 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 la. Simple but effective. Okay. Actually really went good into length, right? I think it wasn't the track just like 3 minutes long. Was it that, or was it Lace solo? I think one of these two songs was really short. But yeah, feedback. Just like I anticipated it, straight away, I enjoyed it more than the title track, okay? Again, the title track isn't bad or anything, but it just wasn't really my style, you know? The edited voice was just a bit too much for me. Just generally, this really buzz and beat in combination with his voice just didn't really harmonize as well for me as it now, as example, did for feedback. This was really, really nice, okay? It kind of went into a similar direction. We still went for a more grittier dance track, okay? You know, like, again, I really thought this would go into much softer direction, this entire album, you know, especially the teaser photos really made me think, okay, there's going to be like a summer dance pop album, something like that, right? Really isn't though yet, okay? We see, like I mentioned, the dance influence in there, but in a much grittier techno direction even, I'd say, okay? Like mentioned, I really enjoy his voice. Like, I think Xiumin has a really, really nice neutral voice in general, you know, not too bright, not too deep, but still has a just nice own unique thing in there, right? Like, it's neither here or there, you know, the general volume or the general tone, but it still has just something about it that you, like, instantly can recognize. You know, like, when he sings in EXO songs, you can just immediately tell, you know, that's him, okay? I mean, EXO is generally very distinguished voices, but I feel like he really has a great tone to, you know, recognize. And I think this type of instrumental really does a good job at it. Like mentioned, that the verse pictures were actually really simple, okay? Like, a very medium tempo, just a bit of bass. You know, we have very, very low volume moments in there, especially this part here. This, like, after the Dangerous especially, you hear that? We only hit a bit of the bass, but outside of that, there's basically nothing happening, okay? It's a very, very, in some way, slow and calm start without it really being calm, you know what I mean? Like, the sound that we do have is gritty, the editing on the voice is really nice, you know, to give the voice such a sharp, you know, feeling to it, but it still doesn't really feel, you know, wide for now. And that's where then the pre-chorus with the synth entry is like especially good, and when then the chorus also fully drops, that just really makes for a satisfying, you know, key moment in the song. Giving it intro into the pre-chorus here. Generally the background anthems are cool, but you know. The synth coming on the background, we get much more, you know, everything becomes fuller and, you know. Generally, like mentioned, a lot of dual vocal lines going on, which is also really cool. Then boom, you know, such a difference. Such a wide full sound picture now in comparison to the verses. Really, really cool. And then, like mentioned, for the second chorus, we then add this la 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 section. Really nice. Then here, the dance instrumental section with that gritty sound effect going on. Digging it a lot, okay? I think this song really has a lot to offer, okay? It starts very simple, but already with a good, you know, with a good amount of identity. And then when the pre-chorus comes in, the synth starts, you know, going on. Everything just comes really nice together. And then boom, the chorus appears, and oh, you're sold on it, right? You're sold on the song. Like mentioned, then the second chorus, we also have the catchy la 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 section. You can sing along easily as well. The bridge, like mentioned, was rather simple. You know, it felt a bit more like a third pre-chorus, but without a big pop moment to, you know, go into the third chorus there. But it's totally okay to me. I think all in all, feedback is, especially when you look at the length, you know, which is really, really solid with 3 minutes and 27 seconds. It really ends up being a very, very solid follow-up to the title track, which I mentioned were both in a very similar dance direction, a bit more heavier dance direction, which again I think really suits his voice and his general vocal color, and I think shines here a bit better. Okay, I generally think that I just enjoy Feedback's production a lot more. I think Feedback just does a better job at you know, what both songs basically wanted to achieve. Like mentioned, Brand New wanted to be that, you know, more unique type of sound, right? And I think it definitely achieved that. But I think Feedback is, in my opinion, definitely, at least for my tastes, more enjoyable song. Okay. Feedback is a really great first B-side. I think it's a good entry into the album. Very enjoyable, okay? The tempo, the pre-chorus, the chorus, the second section of the chorus later on with the la 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 is really, really nice as well. That was really good. That was really good, okay? We're now moving over to something I'm very excited about, and that is Xiumin featuring Mark of NCT, one of my absolute favorite idols, and general rappers and performers and whatnot, with How We Do. This is really interesting because I actually did not know that these two actually had a collab already at one point. Okay, I think 2017, 2016, We Young or something like that. That's something we can check out in a, mashup down the road, where we check out like EXO solos, like, we still have a lot of EXO solos to check out, so that's something we can do down there. I think Xiumin generally has a few more music videos out there. But yeah, cool to know that these two already had a collab at one point. So to then say, you know what, we did a really enjoyable song again that apparently a lot of fans really loved. Let's do another, come on as a feature for my first mini album, that's basically how it went. And that's really, really cool to me. So let's stop the talking and let's get into it. Xiumin featuring NCT's Mark, How We Do.
Yeah.
Ooh, instantly. Bit of a soft hip-hop flavor, maybe? Yeah, come on, Mark. Ooh. Ooh, that's such a nice, comfortable beat now. Ooh, that little groovy guitar there in the background too. Ooh, that's a very simple short pre-chorus here, right? Ooh. That don that was really, really nice, won't believe. Ooh, but their voices really fit well together, okay? Their voices really, really harmonize as well. Ooh. Ooh, this chorus! It's so long, it's so full and catchy. Ooh, do you hear these Mark ad-libs there though? Ooh, these two together are... Ooh. What a duo! And it really feels like a duo song too, It's not just like 4 Mark lines at the end of the song or something like that. It really feels like a collab, It works so well together. Ooh, this is so fun. This works so well. When we do the chorus full for 2 times, oh, that's so good. Oh, but I do fear then, will we end it without a bridge? Nah, right? We're getting a bridge too, right? For third verse? For verse time? Or? Ooh, now, bass out for a moment to really let the vocal shine. This is such a nice soft hip hop song, seriously, with some great vocals in it too. Na 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 na. This is how we do. Woohoo! I'm so glad they really went out with the length there, okay, and didn't end it too soon without I really thought the way we did the chorus so full 2 times that it would really just end it after that, leave it at just around 3 minutes without a final chorus or like a bridge or something like that. But no, they really, really went for the satisfying climax. It made Xiumin's How We Do featuring Mark of NCT Oh, an instant highlight for me, okay? Like an instant highlight across maybe the year, okay? This is such a feel-good, lean-back vibe, okay? This is the really type of song that absolutely embodies the word vibe for me, you know? And again, this really actually feels not necessarily like Xiumin featuring Mark, but actually like Xiumin X Mark, okay? Like an actual collab rather than, because that's often the thing. There are features that really are just, like a little bonus where you would basically end up saying, if you like cut out their lines or something like that, you wouldn't even notice it. Like we really had so many features where it's really like, just 4 lines in the middle of a song and that's it, or like near the end of the song or something like that, and that's it, right? It always feels a little bit, I don't know, like obviously yeah, it's just supposed to be a feature, but I don't know, it's a bit like a wasted opportunity. Here though, we really went all out. They said, you know what? Let's just see a Minix Mark again and actually make it feel like a collab. This really, I feel like both actually had equal lines to too, like it really wasn't just Mark having a few lines in between. It really felt like a collab song with Mark being there since the beginning, having the ad-libs in the background while Xiumin was singing as example, and then doing the chorus together and everything like that. This is how I want collabs to be done. Not just 4 lines in the middle and bye, but actually, both being present throughout the entirety of the length of the song and really giving it us all, okay? This is easily one of the best collab songs of the year. 100%, okay? This was great. And the thing is, like mentioned, still, this song would have worked really well with just Xiumin too, okay? He totally nailed his sections and it's just certainly had a great, like mentioned, his voice really suited his vibe. But like Mark really evaluates the song, and that's once again the thing. That's what I want features in collabs to do. I don't just want the feature to feel like a bonus. I want the feature to really make the song feel even better than it already would be, okay? Adding Mark into this mix with Xiumin, which like mentioned, really sounds great together. I think the voices really just complement each other really well. Really makes how we do just, even better, okay? That's what I want to see, okay? SM knows how to do collab songs, alright? That was fantastic. That was so fun. You just saw me vibing all the way through, okay? With this long intro section, the entries are great, the general verses are fun, we have a simple pre-chorus, but it's totally okay because with such a long, full chorus with catchiness to it, okay? Their flow is just great all the way through. It's... seriously, this is nearly 4 minutes long, but it did not feel like it at all. It's a fun, full, satisfying track that you can just really lean back to and vibe to. You can either really sing along with it, or just have it go in the background as you do something else and just vibe to its flavor and its delivery nonetheless. This is a 10 out of 10 collab song. I can just repeat it over and over, okay? Like mentioned, I'm a huge Mark enthusiast, one of my absolute favorite idols out there. To see him now on this track together with Xiumin, just it works so well, okay? This is great. To just compliment it over and over. I could literally just sit here for 5 more minutes and just say, wow, great, fantastic, amazing, spectacular over and over again. But, I think you've got the point for now, right? This was excellent. It really makes me excited to check out their previous song down the road as well, okay? That was amazing. Xiumin featuring Mark / X Mark of Entity. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed that one. We have 2 more songs to go through, and the next one is Love Letter. And this, I think, will maybe not go into a more softer direction. Like I mentioned, I really anticipate this general album to have a bit more of a summer vibe, a bit more of a softer vibe in general. And I think Love Letter will maybe be going into that. At least that's what the title is suggesting me. Let's find it out together. Xiumin, second to last B-side on his first mini album, brand new, Love Letter. Those that know me know piano ballads, okay? Piano ballads, you know me.
말할 수 있을까요? 당신에게 참 받은 게 많아서 좀 서투른
Ooh, that's a nice line. I think you're beautifully folded letter. Ooh, but it's such a soft piano too. Really compliment his voice. Ooh, now some violins. Ooh.
들릴 수 없는 눈물이 흐르는 건 사랑한다는 말입니다. 이젠 나 그대에게 사랑을
Ooh, now such a full picture already.
지난 날 일기장에 그댈 꺼내보아요.
This clumsy confession. Really enjoyable lyrics too.
오늘은 전해지기를 이 밤 가득하게 그대의 이름을 불러요.
Now the interlude instrument section within the middle of the song. Ooh, this art is so wonderful. Oh, it's such a calm, relaxing instrumental combination here. Oh, there's violins in the back there with the piano. Oh, it's heavenly. And a little soft, you know? Also really nice.
그대에게 말할 수 있을까요?
Oh, it sounds a little bit like rain too, right?
담지 못해서
Or? A little bit, I think.
설명할 수 있는
You know that sound effect when it goes like so, shh, you know, when the TV doesn't work, something like that.
뿐입니다. 이젠 나 그대에게 사랑을 드려요.
But now, obviously, the instrumental is way fuller than in the first half, you know.
속에 많이 더 뒤척였죠. 매일 저 달빛에 들켰던 고백한다면 지금 나의 곁에 와줄 순 없나요? 그대 보고 싶어요.
Ooh, those violins.
그대에게 사랑을 드려요.
Are we ending it here? Are we getting a big... I think we're getting another section, right? Come on. What? I never mind, I think it's outro. It's actually the outro. Okay. We wanted to keep it... Oh, wow, that was actually 4 minutes already! Oh my god, it's always the same with these songs. It's always the same with these songs. It feels like, you know, it just flies and breezes by, but it ends up being like 4 minutes. Goodness gracious. That's actually dangerous because... You know how often I like, you know, especially when I have early shift. Usually when I go to sleep, listen to ballads or like my ballad playlist, and that's where then often, you know, like already am, you know, snoozing my alarm through and through, and then my ballad playlist keeps playing, you know, and it's just so dangerous because you feel like, oh, you know, let's listen to another one or another one, but these songs are like 4 to 5 minutes long. Nicholas, you don't have the time. Wait the fuck up, you know. But seriously, I really thought like, you know what, oh, maybe we're actually going for another section there, but no, we already had 4 minutes. How long you want the song to be, you know? But Xiumin's Love Letter. This is such another lovely song, and it's the type of ballad that never really, you know, has that explosive moment, you know, like especially I think Baekhyun especially have some ballads that like really have this big, you know, this strong vocal explosion. Basically, for Love Letter, we really keep it here, okay? It's really supposed to be a song that while it evolves, it doesn't really want to go from, you know, the very chill and quiet area to a really, really loud one. You know, they didn't really want to go high in the volume here. They really wanted to keep it at a very, very calm, relaxing pace. And I think that's totally fine. Okay, I think that totally really worked. And again, the thing with ballads for me is, like mentioned, I really, really love them. I really grew on them throughout 2022. It's always obviously a bit difficult for me to, you know, like make an exciting reaction in some way, you know, like there's just not as much to say or like as much to react with in ballads as it is for, you know, like the How We Do song as example, just show the other K-pop songs. But I still really always appreciate them a lot because they still just give you the opportunity to, you know, just compliment the idol and their voice. I think that's once again definitely the case here, okay? The much more quieter, calmer delivery here now just suits him so much. There where we started so quietly and somewhat empty with just the piano in the beginning, to then really go into this fully embracive, cheerful, joyful state where we then have the violence going on, you know, like mentions the sound effect in the background that kind of sounded a little bit like rain, or you know this, you know this when you like go onto a channel that you don't have and you have this all grayish type of thing on your TV screen. I'm not sure if that's a thing outside of Germany, where you have this very weird sound coming from it. It's hard to explain, you know what I mean? You hear it here? Like this shh. I can't tell if that's supposed to be rain or if it's from something else, but I think in my opinion really added to the instrumental section here, which was like mentioned really beautiful. Okay, the piano was really nice, the violins were absolutely wonderful, and I think it really worked with his voice once again. I think they're doing a great job in this first mini album of his to really give him instrumentals that suit him. Okay, like mentioned, brand new overall just didn't really was my thing, but it still suited him. Okay, I think they're really giving him just songs right here that just work for his voice. I think it's always important from the producer standpoint, right? Because nothing is worse than like having a great voice but you can't really capitalize it or use it because the songs you're given just aren't really, you know, able to showcase that. Okay, or like aren't really on point for you. You know, that's something I've been recently saying a lot about NMix songs, you know, where they have these crazy mix outs or whatever. You know, they have great voices, but how they're supposed to really show it if the songs that are being given are just not that good. Just, you know, I don't know, they just generally aren't good. I feel like they just don't really work. But this, like mentioned, absolutely wonderful on point for his voice. A great soft ballad right there. Really enjoyable all the way through. I enjoyed it a lot. We have one more B-side to go through. That is Serenity. Okay, fourth and final B-side / fifth and final song on Xiumin's first mini album, brand new. Let's check it out. Very long songs too, very full, all of them. Okay, I think we're gonna keep the softer tone now. You know, we sound like it's more gritty and dancier. And now we just soft outro of the album basically. But it actually has a nice tempo. A nice combo delivery. Was that a pre-chorus already? I think so. Ooh. Ooh, the way we get a bit louder in the background. Yeah. That was a really great chorus transition, okay? The way the pre-chorus did itself. Ooh, Serenity. Oh, but we keep the tempo. This is really nice. It's obviously soft from his delivery, but the bass and tempo is just still, you know, good to move with. Vibe, basically, you know. I love to use the word. And then toning it down. But at first I want the pre-chorus, taking down the tempo a little bit with it, but here you already hear that. You know, that sound in the background just wanting to burst through. The volume increase in the background. And then that top moment, you know? Ah, that's so nice. Such a satisfying pre-chorus and chorus. Ooh. And we keep that fullness now for the bridge. Such a full instrumental as well. So many layers here. Ooh, another soft guitar section.
천천히 고개를 들어 찬란히 새겨진 그 꿈을 안고 나가
Ooh, and there are the vocals! Hell yeah! Oh, what a long one too! It's such a perfect wrap up, actually, to the album.
Serenity
Ooh, and then the... and another really long song. This album is so full. They really said, you know what? You're finally getting your first mini album here. We're going all out, okay? We're going to really make this thing feel satisfying. And I think that's definitely what it did. And I think Serenity is a perfect closure to this first mini album, okay? Because it kind of combines his strengths even more. You know, once again, the instrumental is in some ways soft and relaxing, but also just still has a good tempo and bass and just general, you know, to it. Just a good energy where it doesn't feel too slow or like, you know, it's still a good mover, you know, you can still just, you know, bob your head with it. But ultimately, it's definitely supposed to be more of an emotional ballad. It's basically a bit of an upbeat ballad in some way, you know, a fast upbeat ballad. I think that's what you can basically call it. And it's such a satisfying one because, again, the way the pre-chorus enters there, a bit abrupt at first, but then, you know, it's a very, slow but long one, you know, 2 sections of pre-chorus, and then especially the second section of the pre-chorus where you really, you know, hear the volume increase in the back, you know, just basically it keeps rising and rising, and then with this type of moment for the chorus, you know, the way the chorus then enters with the strong vocal on top of it makes for such a satisfying transition, you know. I said it earlier in one song where it just didn't really feel like, you know, especially, yeah, I think it was for the same song for Feedback, where when the bridge came around, you know, it just felt like, you know, it just happened, you know, the third pre-chorus slash the bridge, just, you know, the transition between the bridge and the chorus just wasn't really there. It just continued with the same feeling and vibe and whatnot. Here in Serenity, you really have a big moment to really make that chorus, when it comes around, to make it really feel special. And I think that's really, really important, especially for pop ballads like these, you know, where you really have that big emotional moment where you can really, like, you know, work towards to, you know, like you listen to the song and you're like, oh my god, I'm so excited for that moment right there, okay? Then especially when we continue to bridge like that, right, we also keep the tempo, and then the final chorus transition where we really actually went out with the vocals here too, because that's the thing. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think Xiumin is he a sub or lead vocalist in EXO? I think he definitely has a vocalist position, or maybe actually sub rapper, or no, right? Wait, I'm not 100% sure. Like, before I speak nonsense here, okay, let me quickly look. Oh, never mind, sub vocalist and sub rapper. Actually wasn't so wrong. I think that then it's actually really well done. You know how the album really captures on both. But like here, really the vocals shine, okay? Here's really where the vocals really delivered for me, okay? Like in both the first and second song, you know, it was like we did have a bit of vocals in there, but like mostly still on flow. The third song was all about flow, and then the fourth song was obviously about the vocals, but more about the emotional tone, okay? More about the emotional vocals in there. That's where I also said, you know, like mentioned, we didn't have this big volume increase because we didn't really want it to go more powerful with the vocal delivery. Here in Serenity is where we at the end for the third chorus transition really went for that strong vocal, you know? Right, wait, no. What? No, that's a bridge still. Here where it comes. Wait, what? Wait, what was it? Here it comes. Here it comes. We really hold that long vocal there, okay? It's still not really a really powerful high note in that sense, but it's just still a much stronger vocal delivery than in any of the other songs, okay? It's such a great way to do it. Serenity. And then again, that voice there for Serenity. Oh, so good, okay? Serenity, excellent, okay? From start to finish, the feeling of it, the emotion of it, the tempo of it, the delivery of it. It's a perfect closure to my opinion, an absolutely excellent album. And just like I said it in the I said it in the title track reaction already. I feel like I will probably enjoy all the B-sides more, and that's honestly the case for me. Okay, brand new, like mentioned, just really isn't my thing in the production sense, but I really enjoyed his sections nonetheless because I really enjoy his voice, and I think the B-sides are just way more my thing. Okay, when we go from start to finish, brand new, like mentioned, it's unique, it's different. They really wanted to do that. They really wanted to make that the identity of the song, and it's totally okay. It just didn't end up being, really something for me to probably listen to too much because I'm just not the biggest fan of that buzz and beat alongside the edited voice. The edited voice, especially, just isn't really my thing. I think the song it's just not as satisfying as the other songs. Okay. Then we have feedback, which I mentioned also goes into a more grittier dance direction, but much more simpler, much more on point, much more classic basically in the song production, and it really suited his voice a lot. Then How We Do featuring Mark of NCT, a perfect collab song, a prime example of how to do a collab, not just few lines in between, but really make it feel like a duo song with complementing each other's voices and ad-libs and whatnot, back-to-back sections. Absolutely fantastic, great vibe, great flow. Then we had Love Letter as the wonderful, soft, quiet ballad in there that just really makes you feel something. And then wrapping things up with Serenity, which is a bit of an upbeat ballad, which is obviously much fuller and louder than Love Letter as example, but still really is a great emotional showcase and especially the best vocal showcase of the album. I guess you could have thought about swapping these around, to really put Love Letter at the end of the album to have it close out with the ballad in that sense, but I think it's solely catered with either. I can definitely say, like I mentioned, that this album really does justice to his voice. Okay, like mentioned, title track, it's just isn't really my thing, but it still works in some way, but I think all the other songs just really work for his voice even better. Okay, they really went out and gave him songs that really work for him, that don't make him, that like struggle or something like that, right? His voice just really suits these themes and these instrumentals a lot, and I think both his rapper and his vocalist position were showcased as well. These two final songs really did a great job at showcasing his vocals, but especially How We Do really showed his flow and rapper qualities as well. I think Xiumin's first mini album, Brand New, has a lot to offer, okay, has a lot in store, and I think it's definitely a great gift basically to EXO fans and just generally, especially his fans, who waited a long time for this debut. Like mentioned, I think he especially alongside I think Lay and Suho, I think we can say him, Lay, Suho, and Sehun especially were often the ones that like heard the least in EXO songs. I think the focus was also mostly on the main vocalist Churu and Chen, Dio, and Baekhyun alongside Kai and Chanyeol, as the front rappers. So you always had these four basically a bit more in the background with like, I don't know, up to like 10 seconds or so within songs, if even. So to then finally have this full album of his, where you can really hear him all the way through, outside of the feature song, but obviously still with a lot of him, and then to have it really be this good, I think this is a really satisfying album for that sense. I think it's a really satisfying album and a great gift to the fans that stayed loyal and always enjoyed his sections a lot. I think it really works for him. Okay, I really enjoyed this a lot. Again, I enjoy all the B-sides more than the title track, but it's totally okay. That's not a bad thing. I'm a fan. I enjoyed this a lot. I had a lot of fun with his first mini album, Brand New, and I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction plus review. If you did, leave a like down below to show me that you did. What are your thoughts on his first mini album? Which piece that is your favorite? What are your thoughts? What is your, what do you have to say about it? Tell me all about it down below in the comments as well. And as always, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you want to support me, then gladly leave this up as well. Also put my Patreon. It would help me a lot. Like mentioned already earlier this week, I think reacting to the Lay album would be difficult because Chinese is always a bit difficult with copyright, like Chinese and Japanese companies especially. But we will definitely be doing Suho's mini album now finally over the weekend. Second mini album, Grey Suit. We've now checked out 2 songs of it already. The 2 music video songs, Grey Suit and Hurdle. So we have 4 more pieces to check out throughout the weekend. Look forward to that. Other than that, obviously so many more EXO solos and mini albums and whatnot. Obviously all the other EXO main albums we have yet to do. Okay, we've left off at their first full album. So that means I think EXODUS should be next. Okay, never mind, we actually did already check out the second mini album Overdose. So yeah, I think EXODUS will be next. So obviously a lot to look forward still with EXO on this channel. So for whatever content you may be interested in, for whatever content you may want you in for, I'll be seeing you again soon on this channel. Stay safe, everyone happy. Have a great time. Have a great remaining week, and see you over the weekend with the Suho mini album reaction and a lot of more EXO and K-pop reactions down the road. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, everyone happy.